Barcelona versus Valladolid wins 1-0. Arturo Vidal is the man of the match. Griezmann falls apart in the first half, and the entire Barcelona squad falls apart in the second. Good afternoon. It is July 11th, 2020. Barcelona versus Valladolid. And what can I say, you guys? The first half looked good. There were some positives. There was a gap in the game with Antoine Griezmann, as when he falters early, he puts his head down and you can almost guarantee he won't recover. But with that being said, the rest of the team, the movement was great until the second half. Now, Barcelona started with Luis Suarez on the bench. So we're looking at Griezmann and Messi up top, Riqui Puig, Vidal, Busquets, and Sergio Roberto in the middle. Riqui Puig looked like he was playing a number 10, but not really. It was kind of hard to decide exactly what formation they were playing, but it was clear Griezmann and Messi were up top. Alba, Lenglet, Piqué, and Semedo on the back line. Now, in the first half, I'll be honest, there was some great movement, especially from Semedo. Semedo was tearing it up that right side, creating a lot of opportunities, handed some perfect balls off to Griezmann. Unfortunately, he faltered, but more than anything, he was stretching that defense of Valladolid. I mean, he really was. He had a great game. The team looked to be movement. It looked like they missed maybe 2 to 3 opportunities in the first half. It could have been 3-0, but around the 15th minute, in the mix, Vidal, as he's always in the mix, trying to get the ball, falls over, the ball taps around, Messi gets the ball, 3 men collapse on him. Now, Valladolid did a very good job of collapsing their defense on Barcelona. Anytime when someone had the ball, 2 to 3 people were coming to squeeze them in a triangle. Messi chipped the ball up like a foot over the defense right into the box to a running Vidal. Vidal taps with his left foot just enough to set up a rip far post crack that goes off the pole. 1-0. Now, at that point in time, it looked like Barcelona was going to be destroying this game. Turns out that was the only goal, hence why Arturo Vidal was the man of the match. Messi also got his 20th assist in La Liga, and the first time ever hitting 20 assists in one season. So more power to him. That speaks a lot to the fact that he's having to create more for others, be involved in every play than anything else. But still, he looked sharp. Messi looked sharp at the beginning. Roberto plays better in the middle. Have to give him credit. He does. He's better than when he plays at right fullback. I definitely think Semedo is a more powerful force, but I just really want to, and also, just like in any game, you have to admit, Barcelona always gets a one-on-one or a two-on-one attack down the middle, just straight abusive down the middle. Hope you can keep up. We all know Piqué is getting a little older. He's not the fastest. He anchors the entire defense, and he gets caught sometimes as we're pushing up on a very high line. Luckily, Perez missed the ball kind of in his only real opportunity in the first half. And it looked like Barcelona was outclassing them in this entire game. But back to the talk of Griezmann. Griezmann not only missed some open shots, he not only missed a couple passes, he had some, even during a transition to the offense, he, gets the ball and he passes it right to the other team. So he was off. And this is not a story we haven't seen. Unfortunately, Griezmann, when he puts his head down, when he feels embarrassed, when he feels ashamed, and he knows that the team is counting on him to just not even be spectacular, but just not to be bad, he falls apart. It's like clockwork. He doesn't ever recover. He's never had a bad first half and then been great in the second half. It's never happened. Matter of fact, he's never had a bad 10 minutes and bounce back. So I think we all knew that Quique Setien was going to have to either take him out. Even the announcers were saying, well, maybe give him a few minutes past the second half so that he can do well, so that he can keep his confidence up. But it's like, yeah, but we can't afford to lose these games. And with the win, we're still 1 point down from Real Madrid before playing their game. Looks like the league's out of the question. But you never say never. But he decided to sub Luis Suarez in and take Griezmann out at halftime. Now, that is where the entire game fell apart. I was analyzing, some of the moves, some of the movements, some of the plays, and some of the first things I was saying was, we're starting a little slow. There's not a lot of ball movement on the offense, right? No one's opening up, running to space to stretch the team. Then you say, oh, well, we're not really chasing back as much. They're Barcelona's giving them way too much space. And then it was just clear, right? Because it was just clear that they were just getting destroyed. There was no energy. In the first half, Barcelona had 74% possession to 26. Barcelona had 6 shots on goal, 3 on target, and Valladolid had 4 shots, 0 on goal. Now, at the end of the game, get this. At the end of the game, Barcelona was being outshot 13-9. Okay? So that second half, as bad as it looked watching, it was even worse when you looked at the stats. Now, some of the things that came up was, hey, where has Barcelona gone wrong? And is this something in the locker room must have collapsed? Something in the locker room, it was almost like the confidence was completely ripped out of them once Griezmann was taken out. Because it's like, you have to remember, the story was the locker room didn't want Griezmann. And think about it, right? Griezmann could have been free. Think of the financial situation Barcelona's in. They're already having a hard time, either bringing in Neymar, whatever move they want to make, they don't have the money. Now, Griezmann 2 years ago, during the World Cup, was supposed to come to Barcelona for free. He not only stiffed Barcelona at the last minute, but then the board decided to bring him in the year later when he cost more than 100 million. Okay, so think about that. They know this. They also know they've been passed around through their coaches. There's some issues in the locker room. It just feels like there's no confidence. And Quique Setién, he's not consistent with what he does. So once you take him out, you put in Suarez. I'm guessing they probably wanted Suarez to start anyway. So it just feels like their heart's been ripped out, to be honest. It feels like the team just doesn't have any confidence in Quique Setién or this team right now. And the goal is to get things moving for Champions League. I still to this day think, I agree. The problems all started with Dani Alves. Once he was not allowed to come back, it started a chain reaction. All of their transfers after Neymar left have been just terrible, right? You decide to bring in Griezmann, who you don't have a spot for over 100 million when he should have been free. And because of that, you're now in a hole with a player that you can't even play and you have to sub off at halftime in shame. Your whole team, your locker room's broken. And then if Barcelona's only real issue in this game was their defense can be a little suspect, you take out Lenglet, you push Jordi Alba up and put in Junior Firpo? Okay, all right, so maybe there's options there. Then you've got movement and it's dynamic in the middle, about 60 minutes in. Then you take Ricky Puig out, put in Rakitic, who started a little slow, but so did Suarez. But basically the whole team was working off of that energy, that running in the middle that all of a sudden disappeared. Ricky Puig is off. Your team went back to the slow defensive team with a defense that is very young in the back. So yes, you added a little speed on the outside. And then on top of that, you put Semedo back, pushed him back up. I mean, it's okay. Either way, the second half was horrid. I'm sad to say it. The players in the first half were playing really well, but you could tell what they had. They had movement, they had space, they were closing down, they had direction, they knew where they were going. Even though the finishes weren't necessarily coming up front, they weren't falling apart. Second half, it looked like the team was disinterested. It looked like their hearts have been broken. It looked like every single player in Barcelona lost their girlfriend at halftime. That's what it looked like. I'm here, but my heart's not. I'm not sure what the next move is. I just have to say that was hard. I hope I don't sound like some complaining, whining guy. That hurt. That second half hurt because you could tell they're all in pain. You could tell that there's no confidence. As far as players go, Busquets had a good game. Piqué did as well. Messi, he was moving around, 20 assists. That's amazing. Semedo killed the game. He could have been player of the game if it wasn't Vidal for that rip of a shot. Griezmann, when he loses his confidence, he falls apart. He really only plays good as basically a striker off of Suarez and when Messi is playing the number 10 role. But Quique Setién always tries something new and it just didn't work out. So, hey, you guys, join the channel. I'm going to continue to follow up on this. I know things don't look great, but let's be positive. Still a 1-0 win is what we needed to get. Those 3 points is the best we could have hoped for. Let's hope some things get ironed out in the laundry. Let's hope we get it going. Everybody have a great weekend. Talk to everyone soon.